Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining me today for this class on women's health. We're going to be jam-packing this webinar with ideas on how you can manage your hormones and keep them healthy in a natural way. If we haven't met, my name is Amanda McCabe. I'm owner and operator of Kokopelli Living. And what we do at Kokopelli Living is we teach a genre of self-development that has to do, we call it essential leadership. What essential leadership entails is it's those everyday choices that we as everyday people, normal people, I don't have access to a bunch of big corporate resources or fancy marketing tools or whatever the case is. I don't have access to any of that to have massive global impact around the world, but there are choices that we can make every day, us normal people, to affect massive large-scale changes and positive social change in the world. And one of the things that we like to teach about is to help people come back to nature and see how nature already has a lot of solutions for our everyday problems. This world of ours has so many problems, and we can't solve them unless people are willing to come back to nature and come back to finding solutions where they were originally left for us to find. So that's what we do here at Kokopelli Living. And today's webinar ties into that very well, in that today you're going to be learning a lot of strategies to manage your health naturally, particularly your womanly hormones. So we're going to get started right away here and dive right in. This is my beautiful family. We are a very active family. We love the outdoors. We're super busy. We love to kayak and hike and do yoga and do all kinds of fun things with our teenage daughter. And I always say I'll sleep when I'm dead because I just really don't have time to slow down in my life. I want to live life so passionately. And as a family, we live life so passionately. We have so much joy and so much love in our lives. We marvel every day at how full and adventurous our lives are together. And our teenage daughter, just keeping her away from technology as much as we can and getting her out from behind the cell phone and helping her stay grounded is such a key component of us as a healthy family. I love these pictures because they really show what we are all about. And this is what we want for everyone else. This is what we want other families to experience, is to experience the passion that the three of us with our dogs share. And it comes from conscious choices that we make every day to make this a priority in our lives. A few years ago, my energy levels took a big dip. And my adventurous lifestyle had to stop for a while. I suddenly woke up one morning and I had extreme physical discomfort. My whole body, you can see here on the left-hand side, my face just blew up. Actually, this was inflammation all throughout my whole body. I was running a low-grade fever for weeks on end. My weight gained tremendously without me changing anything in my eating or exercise habits. I was feeling depressed, anxiety, circulation issues set in, and I was extremely exhausted. I've also been trying to conceive, so there have been some fertility struggles for me personally that I've studied and have been learning about. But just a few years later, by making some choices, I was able to come back to that adventurous lifestyle and find that joy and passion and happiness with my husband again. And it really wasn't a very long time. It was just a few weeks, maybe a couple months or 3 months, that I had made some drastic changes that propelled us down a road of natural wellness that we now want to teach other people. Because if you are struggling with anything related to, I don't even know what I can call, for lack of a better word, I want to say I had an endocrine system crash, because the blood tests came back normal and I knew that I was not normal. This was not normal. You don't walk around with 101 degree fever for weeks on end, or temperature, and that's called normal. So my research have shown me that my endocrine system was overloaded. If you're experiencing any of these symptoms you see here on the screen, I had all of them, every single one of them. So I want you to know that there's hope. You can come back from endocrine system, I can't even say failure, but just exhaustion, I guess, is the word. And I want to explain to you why this happens, particular to us as women, and what you can do to change it. Work with your doctor. That's actually, I want to go back here. When you start when you start experimenting with natural options, know that it's going to take a little while for your body to recognize natural health options again, like essential oils and herbs and supplements, because our modern lifestyles have interfered so much with our endocrine system functioning that it takes a little while, a few weeks, for our bodies to recognize whole food and natural options again, and to know what to do with it. But think, if you don't, nothing's going to change. If you don't try something else, nothing's going to change, and these symptoms will just continue to persist. So let's stop a little bit and talk about how our womanly body works, particularly hormones. There's a part in the brain called the hypothalamus, and this part of the brain, its job is to get and process stimulus from the external or internal environment. So external environment would be things that happen around us. So our senses pick up on something that we see, hear, smell, taste, perceive, whatever the case is. And internal environment would be things that we put inside of our body. So food that we eat, toxins that we might be exposed to, whatever the case is that affects the internal environment. So our hypothalamus picks up on these stimuli, and then it sends a signal to the pituitary gland. And the pituitary gland's job then is just to interpret this information and send hormones, which is also called messengers, to different parts in our body. So our kidneys, our ovaries, our intestines, the adrenals, the skin, breasts, really all parts of the muscle, all parts of our body. So these messengers go into the bloodstream and travels through the water in our body and goes to these different organs to tell them how to respond. The evolutionary purpose of this is, say for instance, our caveman era counterparts would see a lion out in the wild. They'd see this lion, the hypothalamus would send a message to the pituitary gland saying, danger, danger, danger. The pituitary gland would release either adrenaline, which is a hormone, or cortisol, and send it to our muscles that then has us run away. So nothing has changed in our anatomy. We still function this way, and this is kind of just in a nutshell how our anatomy works. But just to sidetrack just a little bit, when a wonderful resource I want to introduce you to is the Woman Code. And the Woman Code by Elisa Vitti, she talks about our menstrual cycle in our bodies and the movement of hormones that centers around our cycle. So in addition to our pituitary gland releasing these hormones or these messengers to go into our body, also happening at the same time for us is our natural menstrual and ovulation cycle that happens. So you have to add that complexity layer to the mix. And what was really cool for me about the Woman Code is that once I read this book, I understood why I probably shouldn't be organizing a really long hike or that physical goal I want to accomplish or that super long workout during a time in my menstrual cycle when I'm probably not going to have a ton of energy, or to schedule date night during the times when passion and romance is optimal for my cycle. And so when you start understanding your cycle and you track it and you see the different phases of your cycle, there's a couple things that you can do. You can organize your life around, and that's what Elisa talks about. You can organize your life around your menstrual cycle, and it'll just make you a much, much happier and more relaxed person to honor that cycle and to honor your body's natural flow. I want to introduce you to literally honor your flow and going with the flow. I want to introduce you to an amazing essential oil called Clary Calm. This is a monthly woman's blend by doTERRA that is a mix of lavender, clary sage. We know clary sage is really helpful for supporting hormones, bergamot, ylang ylang, and some other oils that can be used monthly, particularly during this part of the cycle when we might be experiencing some symptoms that are not optimal. It doesn't make us feel great. So in addition to knowing and honoring your cycle and being aware of these patterns of hormone secretion throughout our menstrual cycle, we can also use this beautiful herbal blend of essential oils that will help even out the keel of the ups and downs that we experience during this time of the month. So going back to our just going back to this here, the pituitary gland and all these organs that are waiting for messengers to come to them and to tell them how to behave, we get a lot of external attacks, or actually external and internal attacks on our hormones. Think about toxic load. You know, our environmental scientists say that the inside of our homes are more toxic than the outside environment outside of our homes. So you got to think about that for a second. Our ancestors actually statistically had less toxic exposure in their entire lives than we have in just 1 week in our modern day lives today. And it's not even that long ago that our ancestors was around. So think about how things have changed. Food, poor nutrition. Man, talk about how things have changed. If you've ever read anything about our food supply system and the way that we process food in the U.S., you'll be shocked to see what gets approved. And then stress, we're going to talk about stress. All of these things, both toxic load and poor nutrition, is also stress on the body. And we're going to talk about that last because that's a big one. So for me personally, I've spent my entire life studying natural health and learning about ways to manage my hormones and be healthy and live more naturally. It's just something that has been a natural passion for me. But until I got sick, I really didn't have the motivation to make the last push and really, really clean out things in my life. I think this is just how human beings work. We have to get uncomfortable before we change anything. I knew better than to still drink water out of the faucet and not filter it. So now, when I got sick, I decided to really make the last push and be responsible with my health. And so now we filter water. I believe EWG has an app now or a website where you can put your zip code in to see what your water quality is like. I was honestly shocked to see what I was drinking every day. So filtering your water is a really, really easy way to start improving your health. Also, when you hear hydrate, 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 the reason is that that cell that we were talking about, those messengers that have to travel from the pituitary gland all the way to our muscles in our body, they travel through water. So without proper hydration, we can't have healthy hormonal functioning. And then think about all the cleaners that we use in our homes. I switched out all my cleaners, my household cleaners, my personal care products to natural alternatives. I switched out my cookware to some natural alternatives. Oh, by the way, we teach a whole separate class that you can request from us on green cleaning and how to make that transition. On our Facebook page, I have a video review of the cookware that I've chosen to cook with. And then I've also switched out from scented candles and aerosol sprays and wax burners. I've gotten rid of all of those. And now we only use essential oil diffuser so that we know what we put into the air inside our home truly is clean. And I love to use oils like Citrus Bliss because it's a citrusy vanilla scent that is also a mood enhancer, and it just makes my home happy. doTERRA made it so easy for us to switch over. I've been using essential oils for about 15 years, and I switched over to doTERRA about 6 years ago. The quality and the efficacy of the oils was so dramatic that I now refuse to use any other oil in my home or on my pets. As you can see down here, my baby girl, she just rolls over. She knows when I pull out the lavender that it's good for her. And we use that on their skin for tick repellents and all kinds of owies, maybe what they could have. And we use this on our children too. And in our business, our doTERRA business, we will not use any other oil, or our Cocopelli living business, I should say. We don't use any other oils other than doTERRA. doTERRA has made it so easy, and I want to focus a little bit on the On Guard series that you see here at the top. On Guard is a really effective germ-fighting line of oils, household cleaners, laundry soaps, throat drops, and even toothpaste that's extensively been tested in hospitals to be effective in killing germs. So we use this in our home every day, and when the seasonal threats starts popping up and the sniffles come up, I put a little bit of extra On Guard in our diffusers. They also come in beadlets that you can swallow internally to give your family a immune system boost. So I'm going to tell you later a little bit more about why doTERRA is so far away removed from any other essential oil company out there, but it was just so easy to switch over because the natural spa line and the shampoos, conditioners, the skincare products. We have an amazing facial skincare product line, body lotions, hand lotions, lip balms. All of these products have essential oils in them. And so my body gets access to not only clean products, but also products that are actually going to be benefiting my body, help move toxins, help shift toxins, all while I'm still getting the luxurious products that I want. So here's what makes doTERRA different. Co-impact sourcing is really where it lies. Our CPTG tested oils are the highest quality of oils in the world because of co-impact sourcing. doTERRA sources oils from about 40 different countries. A lot of them are some of the poorest countries in the world, but there is no middleman. Our leadership, our CEO, and our top leadership in our company goes boots on the ground to work directly with our sources and to be in charge and in control of every single oil that we get. doTERRA will provide a GCMS lab report for every single bottle of oil that you purchase. And these oils come from the areas geographically where they grow most optimally, and they are picked and harvested and grown by master distillers who have, it's kind of like winemaking, I think, that's passed on these skills from generation to generation. And then when you buy a bottle of doTERRA oil, you not only get the most potent and the most purest oils that have no fillers, no hard elementals, or any pesticides in them, you're also contributing to elevating life for people who are desperately dependent on our business. So doTERRA is able to create not only an income earning stream for these master distillers, they're also putting infrastructures in place like clean water and schools and medical care facilities and whatever these communities need, doTERRA goes in and make happen for people. So you can feel really good about that. Nutrition is the second thing I want to talk about that really hits our hormones heavy. doTERRA came up with a product called Lifelong Vitality, and there's so much research and effort that went into putting this vitamin pack together. I want to spend just a little bit of time talking about it. You can go look up your own reviews, and you can go and do your own research. This is a phenomenal, one of the absolute top vitamin supplementation packets on the market. I have, as a whole food advocate, I fought supplementation for the longest time. I refused to take any kind of vitamin until I hit 40. And then I started doing research on, is supplementation really necessary? And it doesn't take very much effort to come across why supplementation is absolutely necessary in our modern lifestyles. No matter how organic, how raw, how whole you eat, we still need supplementation because of the way our food is processed and produced in this country. So Lifelong Vitality consists of a whole food vitamin that is perfectly balanced. When you go buy vitamins over the counter at random stores, you're going to either get a vitamin that has too much cheap nutrients in it that the body just doesn't need that much of and will just urinate out or filter out, and not enough of the more expensive nutrients. So with Lifelong Vitality, you get the exact blend that you need for optimal, or bioaccessibility is what we call it. And so that's why it's such a quality, whole food, non-stimulant vitamin. Alpha CRS, we have talked a little bit about the human cell, but the human cell has a lot of components into it. And cells are the foundational building blocks of our organs, our muscle, our tissue, everything in our body is made up of cells. And so alpha CRS feeds the cell structure. It allows the cell to take the food, or to utilize the food that it gets from the Microplex VMC multivitamin. And so alpha CRS literally works with our bodies at the cellular level. And then E-omega is an omega fatty acid. We know how important joint health and heart health is. Eat your fish. That still isn't enough omega to keep your body healthy. We know that heart disease is the top killer of women in America still. So E-omega is also a very important nutrient to have for optimal heart and joint health. Okay, estrogen. Estrogen is a hormone that heavily affects so many things in our female body. We also know that cancer loves estrogen and feeds off of estrogen. So when estrogen is out of balance, we can have all kinds of problems, including cancer, mental health, skin health, cardio issues, fluid issues if you have a lot of fluid retention, bone growth issues, and cholesterol levels could see a rise. Phytoestrogen is a vitamin. I take my Lifelong Vitality every day, and so does my husband. But phytoestrogen is one that I recently started adding as a part of my fertility protocol to boost my fertility and to keep my hormone levels stable, my estrogen levels stable, particularly. So this is one that you might want to consider adding to your daily regimen as well. Okay, the human cell, let's come back to that. See that part in the middle right under the second H of health type? That's called the mitochondria. The mitochondria is literally the cell's energy center. This is the part that creates vibration and movement and gives the cell energy. So imagine every cell in your body getting supplementation with extra energy. So if you're one of those people that have low energy or stamina and need a boost, consider adding Mito 2 Max. I don't take Mito 2 Max daily anymore because I have changed my lifestyle, my food habits, and my exercise habits to naturally give me enough energy for getting through my day. But I do take my Mito 2 Max with me always, because if I have a particularly long day or I feel run down or I want to do an extra long hike or exercise, then I do add my Mito 2 Max. It is completely stimulant free. And so the way that it works is it feeds the mitochondria and actually that energy center of the cell and creates vibration within the cell. And that is what gives you the energy. So imagine every single one of your cells getting the food and extra boost from this Mito 2 Max. I have recently struggled with endometriosis. My symptoms just in the past year came on aggressively and suddenly, and I was in excruciating pain for several months. And I finally did decide to get the surgery, but Mito 2 Max was instrumental in helping me be able to go to work. If you know any endo sufferers, you'll know there is nothing quite like the endo exhaustion. It is something that I have never experienced in my life. It's literally being unable to get off the couch or out the door or out of bed. So Mito 2 Max really helped me with that. DDR Prime was something I added particularly to my regimen when I was fighting endometriosis. I don't have it every day anymore now. There is some evidence that suggests that, the shot of apple cider vinegar that you take in the morning, there's a lot of evidence showing that, or a lot of studies showing that apple cider vinegar can help suppress bad cellular growth in the body, particularly for women who might have PCOS or other cellular growth issues. And you know who you are if you have these issues. But DDR Prime, I could not get the vinegar down. I have to admit, I couldn't get it down. And so DDR Prime was the next best option. Comes in a soft gel, and I've been taking that. I took that every morning because I wanted to do everything that I possibly can to naturally support my body to only have healthy cellular growth and reject any other non-healthy cellular growth that could lead to further problems. Okay, this is a tough one, the stimulant cycle. When I was struggling with my endometriosis, and I know this is true for men and women who have hormone issues going on, I needed my coffee in the morning to help me wake up, and then a glass of wine at night to help me wind down. And without these, my day just was a struggle, sometimes even sugar in the middle of the day. And maybe coffee and wine isn't your stimulants. Maybe you're drinking Monster drinks or energy drinks or Red Bulls, and maybe you're doing cigarettes or some other drug or something else to help you wind down in the evening. But once we get trapped in this stimulant cycle, our hormones and those messengers that have to go to the different parts of our body is interrupted. So just stop for a second and think if you maybe are in a stimulant cycle where your body is not optimally functioning the way it should because you need these stimulants to help you keep going throughout the day and to help you sleep. So if you're an endometriosis or PCOS sufferer, or if you have fertility issues, I'm sorry to say, but these are probably not stimulants that should be a part of your life at all if you want your quality of life back. There are so many people that will tell you that the minute they have a glass of wine, the pain comes back, or they're suddenly having symptoms, or if they have caffeine, something goes wrong in their body and they can feel it. And this is why it interrupts our natural hormone cycles. So if you can be brave and you can educate yourself, try to get out of the stimulant cycle. Your body will, after a while, start remembering how to sense the hormones to the right parts of your body, and your body will start to remember how to function optimally all on its own. There are some other things that you can try, some fun drinks. So, for example, Dandy Blend is one that I was just recently introduced to. Thank you, Regal Smith. This is an amazing drink. I absolutely love it. I prefer it over coffee now. I don't drink coffee anymore. I used to drink a little bit of decaf, but I don't really drink coffee anymore. But the Dandy Blend is a detoxifying, absolutely delicious, warm drink that I put a splash of vanilla creamer in, and it tastes like a vanilla latte to me. So you can try that. I found it on Amazon. There are awesome herbal teas that are so detoxifying that you can use as well, that will help you wake up. There's also caffeinated teas that you can use that has a little bit of caffeine in it, but has a different response than coffee caffeine. So you can try that as well. And then how about trying some mocktails when you go to a party or a social event? Try some mocktails instead of anything with alcohol in it. There's some pretty amazing recipes out there that you can use. Stress, I've deliberately left this last and third factor that attacks our hormones for last, because this is probably the one that is the hardest for us, especially as moms, to get under control. But this is also the one that has the most impact on our lives and our hormonal health. As women, we're pulled in so many directions. In fact, if you're not tuning in live, go ahead and pause this webinar right now and write out a list of all the hats you wear. Let's think: mother, teacher, housekeeper, therapist, lover, employee. All of those hats that you wear are pulling you in different directions. And for a lot of us, it's just too much. We have anxiety and we have all these interferences in our lives. Stress is really, truly a killer. It creates not just a physical, but also an emotional and spiritual response in the brain. So much research on stress and how bad it is for our body. So this is really a top thing for us to try and control if we want to live with healthy hormones. And this is where we can really harness the power of essential oils. So Balance and Serenity are two oils that I use daily in my life. I put Balance on my hands, rub it together, and take a deep breath if I start to feel any kind of worry or anxiety coming into my life during the day. You know, as women, we worry about everything. So this is a really good, I call it the worry wart balancing blend. I also put it in my diffuser in my car, and what it does is it interrupts those negative pathways in our brain. By the way, did you know that more than 80% of a woman's thought processes, subconscious thought processes in each day, is negative? So the worry ward blend is for you if you are struggling with some of these things. Balance can also be applied to the feet for children if they get overly excited throughout the day, or if you have a crying baby that you're trying to calm down. Serenity is one that I diffuse in my diffuser in the bedroom every night. It brings your body to a calm state and helps you get some restful sleep and stay asleep. These two combined are really powerful if you have up and above anxiety that maybe you want to have extra support for. Again, we're not saying that you need to stop taking, if you're taking medications for depression or anxiety, please do not stop taking those. These are supplements that are going to help your body and support your body to feel better and to do what it's naturally supposed to do. But give it a try, give it a whirl. These are two oils that I absolutely love and I use them daily. If fertility is part of your struggle in this hormonal health journey, I want to tell you you're not alone. I have struggled for 4 years to try and get pregnant, and I'm down to my last options. I completely relate and I understand about the anxiety and the sadness and the emotions that's related to fertility struggles. Find a support group, but if you are up for trying a natural approach to boost your fertility. Stephanie Fritz, just got started on the fertility protocol to help boost my body's natural ability to get pregnant. And I am feeling great just on the supplements itself. And I'll let you know how things work out for me. But a lot of women have found so much success in getting pregnant with just cleaning out and detoxing and following this protocol. So if this is something you're interested in trying, let me know. I can put a package together for you and get you connected with her as well. And I'll even throw in her book. But if there are any emotions that keeps you up at night, or worries, or things related to fertility that is touching you on an emotional level, and how can it not, then also try to experiment maybe with the emotional aromatherapy series. I love this. I have 2 of these roller bottles in my purse that I use probably not every day anymore, but that I do use in times of stress, that I've had some really powerful experiences with. And my husband actually responds really well to the cheer. So men are not, you can use this on your men as well. Self-care. I cannot stress enough the importance of self-care, you guys. There are some 8 dimensions of self-care here. Again, take a screenshot of this if you can, and come back to it later and evaluate things in your life in each one of these areas. If there are things in your life, people, food, activities, things in your life that doesn't serve you anymore, let it go. Reevaluate the need for them in your life and let them go. Take your essential oils and go and have a detox bath. Consider adding a cup of Epsom salts and a half a cup of baking soda with your essential oils in a bathtub, and spend some time soaking in your tub. It's emotionally and spiritually healing, but it's also, our skin is our biggest organ, so it's going to help detox anything that's affecting your hormone, that could be affecting your hormones. It's going to help pull out and draw out through your skin those nasty things that's hurting your hormones. Meditation, what a powerful way to be still and calm and find center and peace. There's nothing that gets me more grounded and decompressed than a hike in nature. Maybe consider spending some time outside. If you're not much of an outdoor person, consider sitting out in the sun outside at lunchtime, or maybe just go stand on the grass with your bare feet. It's called grounding. And there's a lot of research to show the effects of grounding and how effective it could be in helping reduce anxiety and stress. Volunteer or give back. My gosh, there is nothing more powerful than to serve and give of yourself. It doesn't have to cost anything. Just give of yourself and give your time, and it'll trickle back to you tenfold. Get social. Get connected with other people. Get out from behind the computer screen. I know we're sitting behind the computer screen right now because our lives are so busy. Get out from this computer screen. Put the cell phone down and go and connect in real life with people. Touch people. Get connected. And then nurture your spirituality, whether you like to pray or read your book of faith or do your meditations or your affirmations. Nurture your spirit. This is a practice that is getting lost, and there's a reason why we are struggling to make it through, is because we're not nurturing our spirits anymore. If you're interested in trying any of the products that I talked about today in our webinar here, doTERRA has some starter kits that are absolutely phenomenal. They're heavily reduced in cost, and the membership fee is also waived when you select a starter kit. It's a great way to get started, especially if you're new with oils. These are just 3 options. There are many other options to choose from. I can also customize a kit for you, so you can get connected with me if you need us to customize something specific for you. This month, doTERRA is giving away 3 free oils. They're always so incredibly generous every month. But this is a great month to get started if you're a newbie. And I always recommend, you'll see here on the right, the free oils that you're getting is Citrus Bliss, the Balance, the Serenity. And then if you order by the 15th of the month, you'll also get a small On Guard that you can share with somebody else. I always recommend the Home Essentials Kit. This promotion for the 3 free oils or 4 free oils does require a 200 product volume order or product point order, and I can help you put that together if you don't want to choose a starter kit. The Home Essentials Kit will get you there, and this is the kit I always recommend because it comes with 10 full-size oils and a diffuser that's going to get you going on your natural health journey right away. A big savings. And then please take a screenshot of this again so that you can reach me, of the screen, so that you can reach me when you are ready to get started on your journey. I want you to know that you are not alone in this journey of yours. We are here to help. This is something I'm extremely passionate about. I have studied natural health all my life, and I'm a very seasoned essential oil user, and I want to introduce you to this incredible tool that daily I'm getting reports from my customers and my friends now, who are people whose lives have been changed through these oils, and particularly this company of doTERRA and this culture. We're going to give you free wellness consults, as many as you need. We're going to give you support group access, and we're going to give you free your own educational website that you'll be able to use, and so much more. So if you're ready to take the plunge and take the journey, please get connected with me, and I will help you and guide you through the process. Thank you so much for joining me. It was an honor to be your teacher today, and I look forward to speaking to you soon. Have a wonderful week.